Hello everybody, and today I'm just going to be showing you guys my two favorite weapons for early game strength builds so you guys can get off to a fantastic start in your Elden Ring adventure. For class recommendations, I'm going to be recommending Vagabond or Hero. These are going to have the best stat mixes for strength builds. If you're planning on doing any kind of dexterity build or a quality build or something like that, you might go Vagabond. Hero, or you can go Hero if you just want to go more pure strength thing. For this build, I'm choosing Vagabond. So let's go ahead and let's hop on into the weapon choices. And if you guys have any questions about how to really get off to a good start and get a nice burst of souls and to unlock the best farming spots in the game really quickly, I'm going to put a link to another guide that I have on specifically that. So here we have the Brick Hammer. Whenever you use the Barbaric War, which is its special, it changes its heavy attack and makes it faster, deal more damage, and have a pretty special ability. It also increases your physical damage by 10%, so it actually scales pretty well. As far as hammers go, I think it's a pretty solid option, that you can get super early on, which is why I recommend it. A jump attack will just one-shot most enemies. One-shot most, I guess, basic enemies outside of bosses, so it's pretty solid. So to find it, you're going to go through the left entrance in Stormveil Castle, not through the main gate. You're going to go through the side entrance. So hop around. There's going to be a couple dudes there. It's fine. There's also going to be some people that are going to throw some fire bombs at you as you walk up into those barrels, so be careful on that. I do have that door already open, but I'm just walking up here to show you where you need to go. You need to walk in here. You're going to get sucked into the room. Grab the key. Go ahead, come back out, kill that knight that tries to ambush you. Hop up this ladder. And then we're going to swing a right, do a little bit of a jump, and watch out because there are a couple guys, one that kind of tries to jump out at you and another one that's going to throw fire bombs at you. And hop over here. There's two guys that are going to come out of here. No big deal. Just kill them, get those out of the way, and then boom, you will have your brick hammer. So the way you're going to play both these weapons ultimately is going to be the same. You're just going to be jump attacking. So here is the Grafted Blade Greatsword. This is going to be the next option. The reason why I like this weapon is because it gives you a +5 to all your stats, which is really good early on whenever you don't have a lot of runes, you don't have a lot of souls. It'll give you health, stamina, FP, which makes it very easy for strength builds to be able to use summons. Like you can see here, I'm using Lhutel the Headless. But ultimately, regardless of which weapon you choose, they're both good, and there are ways to mitigate, the whole FP loss thing that you're not going to have with the brick hammer. This sword here is going to do a little bit more damage, but the brick hammer, as you get more strength, will eventually win out because it has a nice 10% damage buff. So as you actually get stronger, that one's going to eventually outscale the Grafted Blade Greatsword. However, both are still super solid, whichever one you want to use. And I will say this, the brick hammer does attack a little bit faster because of that Barbaric War heavy attack ability, which can be really nice in some situations. So now let's go ahead and take a look at how we get the Grafted Blade Greatsword. So this is at the Castle Morn down in the Weeping Peninsula. So while I'm doing this little run here, just follow this path that I take. I just wanted to point out a couple things. So you'll notice that on the Grafted Blade Greatsword, it takes 40 strength to wield, and on the Brick Hammer, it takes 31. So I'm going to show you guys how to get Radagons soreseal. That's going to mitigate it by 5. But if you want to know how to level up fast and get a nice burst of souls so you can wield this stuff, there is a link in the description below that has a guide to all that that will show you how to go from being level 1, nothing, all the way to just jumping up to level 30 and then killing a couple key bosses. That is going to help you unlock some of the best farming spots in the game. So yeah, but moving right back along to this. So go ahead, jump down here. And the main thing here is you don't miss a Sight of Grace, because if you do end up dying fighting this boss, which this boss really isn't too bad, I was able to do it with just the starting gear on the Vagabond. I just heavy attacked with the halberd that you get. And you could apply the same thing to the hero. You could just keep jumping, jump heavy, jump heavy. That's pretty much the play style of strength builds from my experience. But yeah, so come down here, hop down, and it's swing a left. It's this grace right here. I missed this. I don't know how, but the first couple times I did Castle Morn, I just totally missed this Sight of Grace. But it's a little bit of a longer walk if you miss it. So yeah, and then right here is the Lone and Misbegotten, and that's where we're going to kill him to get this sword. So, I mean, the boss fight's really straightforward. If you picked up the wolf ashes, you can just summon the wolf ashes. Once he gets distracted fighting the wolves, just jump attack him. Then if he starts attacking you, just wait for the wolves to distract him again and just kind of go back and forth doing that. He will stagger eventually just from doing the jump attacks. So, and once he staggers, that's going to give you the opportunity to do some wombo damage to him, like right there. Yeah. Wait for it and then jump. Jump attack, roll backwards. Oh, he's angry now. Jump attack. Yeah, so not too bad at all. And now you have your Grafted Blade Greatsword. Alright, so the only real consumable that we want to use is boiled prawn. To get it, just come over here and learn any of the lakes. Talk to Raya. She's going to say, oh, my necklace got stolen. You got to go buy it from this guy over at the boiled prawn shack for 1,000 runes. And then after you do that, just talk to him again, and then he'll start selling you boiled prawn. The reason why this is important is that he gives you a consumable that is going to negate your physical damage reduction by 15%. So Radagons soreseal makes you take increased damage. This is going to help flatten that out, in addition to the Dragoncrest shield talisman that I'm also going to show you guys how to get. So alrighty then, on to the talismans. For my talisman recommendations, go to the third church of Marika. We're going to go right behind it to go through this teleporter. It's going to take us to Caelid. What we're going to go for here is Radagons soreseal. The reason why is because when it comes to strength builds, you need a lot of strength to be able to wield the good weapons. It doesn't matter if you're using, like giant crushers, whatever. It takes a lot of strength, right? So 31 for the brick hammer, 40 for Grafted Blade Greatsword. And it's going to take you 60 once you get up to the point where you graduate and get to the giant crushers, right? Once you get into more of a mid-game area. So you got to be thinking about that. So having a plus 5 to your stats for free is going to be nice. Unfortunately, using the Grafted Blade Greatsword to be able to wield itself by using its special isn't really effective, but because it doesn't last that long. But yeah, so just go down here, make this run over to Fort Faroth. It's pretty easy to get this, and it'll help out a lot. And then for the next talisman, it'll be up to you. You have a couple options. The first one's going to be the Claw Talisman. It is going to give you damage on jump attacks. And then the next one's going to be the Dragoncrest Shield Talisman. It's going to reduce your physical damage taken by about 8 to 10%. So pretty solid overall. But, what you choose is going to be up to you. And keep in mind that you get your second talisman pouch after you have fought 2 rune bosses. So that's something to note too. So you'll end up having 3 talisman slots here pretty quickly. Yeah, so to get the Radagons soreseal, we're just going to run into Fort Faroth right here. And right outside of here is a dragon. If you have a bleed weapon, you can kill him and get a nice boost of 70,000 souls. I do recommend you go get the Golden Pickled Foulfoot off of the beach over by the first step site of Grace where you first started. You can get 90,000. That's a solid way to be able to wield these things. If you want a more in-depth guide on that, again, I have a link in the description below that explains that. Watch out for the rat over here, though. There's a rat that's going to try to jump out and try to attack you. So you got to watch out for that. Yeah, that big one. And then boom, there it is. Alright, so the next thing I'm going to recommend is Dragoncrest Shield Talisman. This one is going to be the best if you want to try to take a little bit less damage, because this is going to reduce your physical damage taken. And by having Radagons soreseal on, that's going to increase how much damage you take. So this is going to help mitigate that a little bit if you feel like you're taking too much damage from bosses. So it'll help out with that. And then I'm going to be showing you guys where to get boiled prawn at too, which is a really good defensive item to complement this build early on. It's just to make sure that you guys have all the physical defense you need, so the Radagons soreseal isn't like, causing you to take so much damage that you start struggling with bosses or anything like that, right? So yeah, so from the Beast Sanctum, you just jump around, do this little jump around loop-de-doo. It's kind of annoying to do. You might die a couple times trying it, but it's definitely worth it to jump down here to get it, because, damage reduction is always nice in a Souls game early on, right? And now, after this, the last recommendation is going to be the Claw Talisman if you do want damage on your jump attacks. So from this side of Grace, just go ahead, run in like usual. Now, if you already have went to the lift side chamber or the Rampart side of Grace, I think it's Rampart side of Grace, you can start from there, but I figured I'd just go ahead and show you guys how to do it this way, just for the heck of it. So, yep, roll back, do all that. Go through this door. If you don't have the rusty key, go upstairs, etc., etc. This time we're actually going to go run up here, run out and around. There are no enemies. There is one big knight. and he will wreck your face if he hits you, so watch out for that. Rock over here. There's a sided grace right here that you can get. Then keep on going up the stairs. And then don't be like me the first time I came out here. I think I accidentally jumped off the ledge. So, yeah. Alright. Right here. Jump, and now we're going to play, you know, parkour. And watch out for these birds, because these birds are the most annoying thing ever. Especially with when you're doing like these hammer builds and stuff like that. It's like you do damage, but since your attack speed can be kind of slow, it's a little unfortunate. But it's whatever, you know. It's early game. It's just what you deal with. So we go around, and yeah, and you'll see, you know, just jump attacking will like pretty much one-shot all of these enemies fairly easily. Bam, bam, bam. And then the claw talisman is up top here. I think I might already have it on this character though, so it might not be there for this guy, but this is where it is. Yep, right here. So as an honorable mention, I figured I would actually show you guys the hammer talisman. So this makes you do 40% more stamina damage to things that block your attacks guarding. So if they have a shield up or something like that. So this is really nice in PvP, or it'd also be really nice if you're just fighting something that puts its shield up all the time as a situational pick. So pretty solid overall. I figured I'd go ahead and show it to you guys here because I think it's pretty cool. It got buffed, I believe, a couple patches ago, or maybe it was this patch, I don't remember. Yeah. So early on when it comes to the flask, I don't really think the flask is really all that important because it can be kind of challenging early on to actually go out and get the good tiers. I mean, if you're up for a challenge, you can go try to kill the Erdtree avatars, but especially for strength, there's just not a lot of options. But right here, you're going to have the Strength Knot Crystal tier. This will increase your strength by 5 for 3 minutes. So if you do run into a situation where you are short on strength to wield a weapon, this does last for 3 minutes. So you could theoretically use this for boss fights. So that's not too bad. But yeah, this is probably going to be the best thing you can get aside from until you get a few more levels, get a little bit stronger, and you can start actually killing the Erdtrees. So if you go over to the Mistwood Ruins, you can also get this one right here. This one, it will increase your stamina by 15%, so it'll probably be the next best thing. Alright, so now that we have a good weapon, let's go ahead and, or I guess good weapon, crystal tier, good talismans, let's go ahead and get to the Tombsward Catacombs so we can get a good summon. So from the Church of Pilgrimage, down on the Weeping Peninsula again. So again, very easy boss we're going to have to kill here to get this. But yeah, super duper solid summon. This one isn't going to die like the wolves are going to die once you actually start doing harder content. So to get through the Tombsward Catacombs, it's fairly simple. Just watch out for all the skeletons. Skeletons, if you aren't paying attention, will kind of group up on you and can potentially kill you, but they die really, really fast, so it's not really a whole lot to worry about. Just make sure you hit them twice because they will keep coming back until you actually hit their dead body. So, yeah. Also, and there's a bunch of like Glovewort and stuff like that, like Ghost Glovewort and then Grave Glovewort. So go ahead and pick that stuff up, just because it does actually help upgrade your summons. And right now, especially since it's like super early on, you're not gonna have like the craziest access. You know, you're not gonna have like the craziest access to things. So very important that you pick that kind of stuff up right now. Yep, killing skeletons, nothing crazy, and then watch out for the fire thing here. You need to make sure that you hit this. And watch out for the skeletons can try to ambush you when you get to the safe spot. So hit it. And then, you know, hit it again. Then get hit by the fire. Yep. Hop on top of it. That's going to take you up to where this lever is going to be. That's going to open up the boss door. And then you'll be able to just jump right down and go straight over to the boss, or go back to the bonfire and then go to the boss. Alrighty. So it's going to be the Cemetery Shade. You can just summon any Lone Wolf Spirit Ashes, any Spirit Ashes you have, and honestly, you really don't even need Spirit Ashes. I will say this, it does hit a little hard if it does hit you, but it's very squishy. It's very much a glass cannon. So as long as it doesn't combo off on you, you shouldn't die. But then again, I don't know, I was a little over leveled for this because this is a pretty early thing here. But yeah, you can see, very, very easy. And boom, now we have Lhutel the Headless. Keep in mind you are going to need like 104 FP, so you are going to need to level up a little bit. when it comes to being able to summon that. But anyways, guys, that's going to do it for this video. Like, subscribe if you want to see more. I hope this build helps you guys out a ton. This is just an easy starter build that you guys can do right off the bat. It doesn't take too long. And as you can see here, I am already working on the mid-game version as well as the late-game version of the hammer build, testing some fun stuff out. So anyways, guys, thanks for watching. Like, subscribe if you want to see more, and I will see you next time.